friends, how's it going? Hey Facebook world, I am excited to be doing this live with you today, and let me shut off this page really quick. Oh shoot. Okay. I don't want to get distracted by my own voice. So I just wanted to come on live today, as you can see by the title. It's a topic that I feel like the majority of my community, my clients, it's kind of the ongoing struggle, right? So first, I just wanted to address any of you that are watching on the replay. Just want to say hello to you. And if you are watching on the replay, will you type in hashtag replay for me, just so I know who's on live and who's here live. And if you are here live, type in live in the comments and tell me where you're tuning in from. Maybe you are on the other side of the world. Maybe you're just around the corner. I always love to see like the different places where people come from and tune in from. So I'm excited to have you here if you are on live, and I just wanted to let you know if you're here live, I want to give those of you an opportunity to ask me anything towards the end once we talk about this. So just stay tuned for that. And then I will also mention this towards the end, but I wanted to mention it for you guys that are here now. So I have decided to, I've been thinking about what's the best way that I can really serve my community and my peeps. And hey, Sally, how are you? Okay, good. I can see comments. So I have been thinking, okay, so how can I serve you all a little bit better? And oh, Sally, love you, girl. You're one of my faves, for sure. Sally is hilarious, by the way. If you don't follow her, you should. Anyway, so what I was saying is I am going to be giving away a free personal branding audit. Normally, this is something that I would charge at least $200 for to do for someone. So I want to give anybody a chance who is here watching either live or on the replay and who shares this video out. You're going to be entered to win this free gift, which basically, if you're wondering, well, what does it even include? It's an opportunity for me to have my eyes on your stuff. So if you have an online presence of any sort, or maybe you don't have an online presence just yet, and you have that fear of judgment, that whole topic that we're going to be discussing right now. If that's you, I can give you some feedback on how you can make your first steps. But if you already have a presence, I want to give you some feedback on which category are you in? So the 3 different categories that entrepreneurs fall in. Okay, if you have an online business, this is the 3 you fall in. You are either completely invisible, which hopefully that's not the majority. I don't know. We'll see. But so you're either completely invisible, or you are visible, but you're not exactly being heard. So what do I mean by that? So there's a lot of online noise right now, as I'm sure you can tell. I mean, in the coaching industry, there's probably thousands and millions of other people doing the type of coaching that you're doing. Okay, I'm just going to say it. And I think you probably know that no matter what kind of a coach, no matter what kind of a business you have, whether you're in network marketing, whatever it is, you know that you're not the only one doing what you're doing. You know, there's the competition, right? So drop me a 1 if you know this. Drop me a 1 that you know you're not the only one, and that there's something to be said about healthy competition, so to speak. And yes, Sally, you are correct. There's only one of you, right? So, but that's the honest truth, is that there are other people out there teaching what you're teaching. The information that you are teaching is probably out there for free too. So that's what's happening. Okay, that's the reality of the world that we live in. So if you're in the second category, you may be putting yourself out there, but there's a chance that if you're not booking any clients, if you're not growing your business from whether it's your Facebook Lives, whether it's your webinars, whether it's your lead magnets, whatever it is that you may be putting out there, if it's not profitable and giving you an ROI, whatever that may be, whether it's your time or your money, then there's a chance that maybe, I don't want to sound like I'm being rude, but because I love you all, I think you're all amazing and you have something unique to offer the world, but there's a chance that you may be positioning yourself in a way that is not truly genuine and authentic to you, and therefore you may just be out there making noise, but not really building a profitable business. So that's the second category. And then of course, there's a third category, which I think we all want to be in, where it's you are doing everything from a place of alignment. You are aligned with your purpose. What you're doing is speaking to people. It's resonating with people. You're showing up with confidence, with authority. You're owning your zone of genius. You're in your zone of genius, and you know exactly who you're speaking to. And that goes for every type of business, by the way. Whether you're in coaching, whether you're a consultant, whether you're a speaker, whether you're in network marketing, it doesn't matter. You have a target market, and you have a specific group of people that you want to listen to you because you have a solution that they're looking for. But if you don't position yourself correctly, they may overlook you completely. Okay. So yes, I love that Sally even brought that up. There is really only one of you. Okay. And there's things that only you can offer people. So now, why do I even bring this up? And why is this close to my heart? Well, because just like a year and a half ago, I was incredibly confused and lacking massive confidence in my own business and in myself. Okay. So a lot of what I've noticed, is that there's one of the biggest fears, I guess, they all go together. But some of the biggest fears that entrepreneurs have, especially women, us women, I feel like we have so much more to offer than some guys, no offense, but, girl power. But I feel like we doubt ourselves a lot more. Okay. I see this all the time. I see a woman who has so much to offer, who is completely capable, who really has so much to give the world. And then I'll see a guy that maybe does something similar to her that maybe isn't even as good, but the guy will charge forward and he will be overconfident at times. I'm not saying all guys are like this, by the way. Please don't like come running after me. But drop me a 2 if you've noticed that too, that men just seem to have just more natural confidence and just a bigger ability to just kind of go for things, even though they may be scary, or to them, there's some things that may not be as scary as they are to some of us women. Okay. Drop me a 2 if you've noticed that too. I know I'm not the only one that's noticed that. And so I feel like I have to call that out. And I think like as women, that is one area where we do have to step more into our power. Okay. Not my husband. And Sally, yeah, obviously there's exceptions to every rule, but in general, I feel like I just see men just going after things that they want a lot more confidently than us women do. So, hey, Lisa, what's up, girl? So glad to see y'all here. So let me readjust here. So, okay, at the root of the lack of confidence that I've noticed with women, it's really just, it comes from 3 different sources. So one of the sources is that you're not confident in who your ideal client is. Okay, as any type of online business, you should be very clear on what problem you're helping solve. What are the pain points? What is it that you are healing, so to speak? Okay, you should be very clear on that. Otherwise, if you're not, you're going to have a lack of confidence there, and you're going to be unsure of anything that you put out there, any offers, any videos, anything like that. You're going to have some confidence issues with that because if you just don't know something, or you're not fully, you don't see the whole picture, you're going to not be confident in that. So, that's one area. That's one area where the lack of confidence could be coming from. Number 2 is usually, a lack of confidence in just knowing what to do, like how to execute, right? It's like you can't ride a bike unless someone kind of shows you, or you watch somebody, right? You can't know how to do something unless you've learned it somehow. So that's another reason maybe there's a lack of confidence if you just really genuinely don't know how, but you're ready to take action. But the biggest one by far that I see with women especially is lack of confidence in ourselves. So, and I feel like the fears of criticism, and by the way, drop me a 3 if you resonate with that, if that maybe hits a chord with you, maybe you've noticed it, or maybe you've experienced this at some level, drop me a 3 in the comments, because I know I'm not the only one who has experienced this, and like I said, I've been through all of this myself at one point or another, and I'm still like not perfect. I still have my things that I'm overcoming, or some fears that I'm stepping forward with. The fears never really end. Let me just tell you that. So no matter what point in your business you're at, whether you're making nothing, whether you're making $2,000 a month, whether you're making 10K every month consistently, you're going to have different levels of fears. Okay. And they're all, at least you should be scared of something at every point, because you should be pushing yourself out of your comfort zone at every point. If you're comfortable and you're like just cruising and it's nothing scary, you're not really pushing yourself. You're not progressing. So, that's the reality of that. So now, how to actually overcome this fear of criticism, of putting yourself out there, and what are people going to say? And guess what? This is how this shows up for people. So this is how I know when a woman is afraid of these things, is because she's making all sorts of excuses for not putting herself out there. Whether it's that, well, I just don't have the equipment yet. Or, well, I just don't know how to do it. Sometimes we play the I don't know how to do it card because we're just scared. Or I'm just so busy. I have all these things to do. So we avoid whatever is scary, whatever's uncomfortable, because we just don't want to, deep down, we're scared to do it. So we'll make all these other excuses for it. So, and by the way, I've caught myself doing this. It's a matter of being aware. Okay. We all do this at some level or at some point, but it's a matter of self-awareness and understanding when you're doing it and catching yourself and kind of backtracking and saying, all right, why am I making an excuse for this? What's really going on there? So, what I want to share with you, is that what I've seen is, like I said, the different places of this lack of confidence, or this fear of criticism, the fear of judgment, fear of rejection in general, because this is, I swear, it really is like the number one thing that stops women from really putting themselves out there and growing profitable online brands and businesses. It's just the fear, the fear. The four-letter F word, I call it. That's probably the worst one I can think of, really. Because like I said, it just stops women like crazy. So I would love to hear in the comments, those of you that are here, if you're watching on the replay, what are your top fears? What do you feel? And I'm inviting you to be vulnerable here and to be a little real. Imagine that. Just be real with the world and with yourself here. Like, what are the fears that stop you? And what in particular, maybe is it a specific family member that you're afraid that will see you and be like, oh, a lot of these fears, I always say, like, the only fears that are learned, or that are that we're born with, are the fear of loud sounds and the fear of falling. Every other fear we usually learned early on in our childhood, and then guess what? They get carried on with us into our adulthood. And so I know the fear of rejection all too well, by the way. And it's something that I know that I learned from my own childhood at a very early age, just some family dynamics. And that's usually where it stems from, is family dynamics that we've had early on. A lot of our core beliefs are formed between like the ages of like 3 and 8. I mean, just super young. That's really when we really take in some beliefs, or we make, so to speak, unspoken contracts with ourselves. And Elisa says judgment. Yeah, a fear of being judged. And so here's what I would love to just share with you, and just hope that if you're watching this, that you will come to terms with the fact that you're going to have, if you're doing things right and you're stretching yourself, you're going to have some kind of fear in some way, in one way or another. So the question is not, oh, well, how do I like get rid of this fear, or how to like completely overcome it? It's a matter of, how do I manage this? And how do I work around this, or how do I use it to my advantage so that I can be successful, and so that I can do those things that scare me to death, but I know are either going to grow my business or grow whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever your online brand is. Okay, so one of the first things I'm going to tell you is you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and understand that you're going to be scared. You're going to be scared. if you were thinking like you were going to come in here and I was going to tell you how to like magically poof, be rid of fear, it doesn't happen. And I can 100% tell you that people are going to judge you. So judgment was one of the fears here. People are going to judge you whether you're not doing anything with your life and whether you're acting according to what other people want you to do, or whether you're actually doing whatever the heck you want. So if you're trying to avoid judgment, it's a lose-lose because you're going to be judged either way. People are going to gossip about you either way. People are going to talk about you either way. There's going to be people out there that don't like you either way. So if either way you can't escape that, why not give people something to talk about? And that's the way that I've learned to look at my fears when I'm worried about what so-and-so is going to say. And by the way, this takes time. This is like a retraining of core beliefs and core fears that you've had since you were probably a little girl. It's literally a retraining of your brain, and it's something that you really need to work on daily. It's just like when you go work out and you're trying to get that six-pack at the gym. It doesn't happen just going once or doing a few crunches here and there. It doesn't happen that way. You have to be consistent and go for at least 4 weeks to even see a little bit of result. It's the same exact way with our brains. It's literally like this daily workout that you have to do mentally to retrain those learned fears. So as soon as you understand that those fears you have are just learned and you identify where they came from and how they began, then you can start the process of transforming them. Okay. And so that is one of the first things I'm going to tell you is identify where you learned any particular fear. So what is it that scares you? Why are you scared to do it? Ask yourself these questions. I love journaling. You should see how many journals I have in my bookshelf because that's one of my favorite ways to engage my subconscious mind and actually get my breakthrough and understand what really is stopping me. So that's one of the first things I'll tell you. So identify your fear, where it came from, and then recreate this reality. So if you have been scared to go live or do a video or put something out there because you're afraid people are going to reject you, for one, people are going to reject you. But it's not, but here's the second point I have to make about that is another reason we as women struggle so much in business and let all these emotions and these fears is because we become way too emotional about our businesses and we make things personal. Just last week, I think it was last week, I received an interesting email from a woman who on one of my Facebook Lives, decided she was going to promote her network marketing company to me. Okay. She was promoting on my Facebook Live, right? So she's like, oh my gosh, you need this product. This is the best, blah, blah, blah. Like, you need to try it, right? So she's sitting there promoting on my freaking Facebook Live. I actually was not like even that like mad about that specifically. I was like, okay, like, it is what it is, right? So, but I just responded to her. I was like, hey, I've actually done my research on this company and I've looked into it. It just wasn't for me. I had a lot of estheticians like advise against it. And maybe you saw that in my Facebook group if you're not in it. Maybe you saw when I posted that. I posted some screenshots. I didn't use her name or anything, but it's just it's an interesting story. So I'm telling it, but this is a perfect example of taking things way too personal in your business. Okay. And what not to do. And this is, like I said, I'm 100% sure that this is a big stumbling block for her because any woman who does this, and I've done this too in my business, that taking things personal, somebody unsubscribes from my list or whatever happens and I make it about me, my business suffers. So the only person you're hurting is yourself. But anyway, long story short, I responded. She did not like my response. So she like blocked my business page. I don't know what she did. She blocked it. And then the funny part was that I completely forgot about the whole situation, like in that instant. Like I didn't think twice about it. I sent out 2 weeks later, I sent out an email to my list, which she happened to be on my list. She happens to open this email, which I looked at her history and she had not opened any other of my emails. So that was also interesting. So she opens this email and she just decides to let me have it. She just tells me how I'm so not supportive of women or something, and I bashed her company and all this other stuff, like just took everything so personal, made this huge drama about it, and just took the time to write me this long novel about how, oh, I'm so this and I'm so that, and just telling me how horrible I am. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this girl literally just spent her energy in this, it was just like toxic energy that she was spewing out. And I honestly could do nothing but just feel bad for her, realizing like what she was doing, that she was taking something in her business super personal when really she should have just shrugged it off and moved on with her life. And it really, and it didn't do much for me, just because I've been through this. Okay. I've been through this ringer. So I've worked around this so that I don't take things in my business personal, and I take everything as a learning experience if something like this happens. But I just could tell that she really was like obviously having a hard time with this, and just really took it personal and really took it to heart. And ladies, like, I'm just telling you, just don't make things personal. If somebody says no to your product, if somebody says no to your offer, if you're on a discovery call and somebody doesn't want to work with you, or if somebody unsubscribes from your list, if people don't sign up for your lead magnet or whatever it is, it's not about you. I know it's when we put our faces out there and we're a personal brand and we're the ones creating everything and it feels kind of like it's our baby. I get that it's easy to take things personal. I totally get it. I've been through this, and so it feels personal. But what you have to realize is you have to detach yourself and who you are as a person, and detach your worth, and don't put your worth on a lead magnet or on a Facebook Live or on a video or something that you put out there. Like, you can't put your worth on how people, because you're giving your power away. And the moment that you do that, you're giving your power away to the masses, the whole world, and what people are going to say and how people are going to respond, which you don't know how people are going to respond. And at the end of the day, when it comes to marketing, it's all about trial and error. So you're going to, like, I just put up some Facebook ads a couple weeks ago. Awful. They are performing awful. So I'm just in full transparency. They were doing awful. And I feel like if it had been me a year ago, I would have been so offended and been like, why is no one loving this picture of this puppy that I posted? Or like, why is nobody responding? Why is nobody signing up? Or why did someone unsubscribe? And I was like, like it would hurt me. That was such an energy leak for me, and it affected my business vastly. And once I let go of that, it was like for one, a burden was lifted. Two, I was able to actually see success in my business because I approached everything that was marketing objectively. Okay, people aren't signing up for this lead magnet. Let's see where we can tweak it. This Facebook ad isn't performing. All right, what's not performing? Is it the copy? Is it the image? What is it? All right, let's tweak it. And that's how you approach business. And if you do that, you're going to be a much happier entrepreneur, for one. And if you realize that you putting stuff out there isn't about you, and it's not a personal rejection on you. And for example, this video I know is probably not for everyone, but I think I know that at least one person needs to hear everything I'm saying in this video. Just one person. So if I made this about me and how many views I'm getting and how many comments I'm getting and all this other stuff, like if I made that about me, like I would be a very unhappy person, because I would be constantly thinking, well, this so-and-so got this many views, and why didn't or I got 50 views and nobody signed up to work with me? What? Like, you can't do that. And everything, by the way, it's building a business, it's building it. It's not a snap your fingers and there it is. You're building a business. So this takes time, it takes consistency, and it takes diligence. And you taking your emotions out of this. And the only emotion that should be in this is that passion for what you're doing and for those people that you want to serve. So like I said, whoever this is for, like, I know that it's for somebody, I don't know who, but this may not be for everyone, right? But I know that at least one person needs to hear what I'm saying right now, and is maybe struggling with the same fear, the fear of rejection, the fear of judgment. All of this just comes from being centered around us and what people, and putting our worth on our marketing and how our marketing performs as business owners. So like, how does this video perform, or how does this lead magnet perform? Oh, if it doesn't perform well, it means I'm not good enough, right? How many times, I mean, I'm speaking to myself halfly because I've done this so many times where something doesn't perform well or whatever happens and I make it about myself. And so it's one of probably one of the best lessons that I've learned as an entrepreneur is just let go of taking things personal. Let go of putting your worth into, a lead magnet or even an offer, even the paid offers. Okay. It's all just marketing. So think of it as objectively as possible. So that's one of my biggest advices to you guys. And I would like to open it up for any questions. If you guys have questions about this, maybe you want to know just practical ways to work on your mindset or what I do, or maybe you have more questions about like strategy or how to like, whatever it is, I want to just open it up. If you want to ask any questions, I will take them for the next minute or so. And I know that there's a slight delay with Facebook, so it's going to take a minute for you guys to even hear this. And then it's going to take probably another minute for you guys to type it out. So that's really what I wanted to say to you all today, is that just please take the emotion out of your business, because once you do that, then it all just becomes marketing, and that fear of rejection and fear of what people are going to say, which by the way, like I said, people are going to talk either way. People are going to say stuff either way, no matter what you do. And especially if you're going after something, if it's like a good change that you're making, which showing up in your business is always a good thing. There will be people that are triggered. There will be people that feel intimidated or feel like, oh, who is she? What does she think she's doing? Like, that's going to happen. I've had that happen to me numerous times. Okay. But at the end of the day, I continue to show up and I continue to do these silly little videos, whatever they are. And then I do other videos. This isn't even the only way that I'm showing up. It's just one of the ways, but I continue to do them. Not even because it brings me, it's not like I get a client after every live video I do. This is what I know is one of the best ways to connect with my tribe. And that's why I do it, because I want to be present and I enjoy it. I actually enjoy sharing my takeaways and the things that I have learned along the way, and my mistakes that I've made, so that other people hopefully won't make them either. So, excuse me, I have like a little something and I'm out of water. But, and that being said, I also wanted to just remind you, if you want to win this brand audit that I just mentioned, so like I said, if you want me to just look over what you're doing, your online presence, your social media presence, maybe the videos you're putting out there, and give you some feedback on whether you're making noise or whether you're just kind of coasting or whatever it is, or if you're being effective in your marketing, then definitely share this video out, and then I'll give you a shout out if you do share it. Okay, my husband's on here asking question. How can I use the adversity as fuel for my business? That's a great question. So depends on the adversity, but for me, when I have had maybe some haters or maybe some people that do criticize or do say negative things, or I get any type of negative feedback, I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person, if somebody challenges me and someone's like, oh, you can't do that. Like, you can't make, like, I remember before my business was profitable in any way, I remember having people in my life like kind of be like, oh, okay, we'll see if this little thing of yours, they thought I was just like wasting my time and not doing anything, and I didn't have a real job, right? And so that just fueled me because I was like, I will show you that I not only can do this, but I can knock it out of the park. And so I just rewired that negative feedback into just further fuel for my own motivation and for the things that I was doing. So and I think adversity, by the way, there's something to be said with trials and adversity and things that happen that are considered tragedies or whatnot. With everything that happens to us that's uncomfortable or that makes us feel any type of pain or anything like that, that's usually what drives us into action, right? drop me a 4 in the comments if you agree with that. Because a lot of the times we will not take action. We will not do anything differently than what we've been doing until there's a big enough reason to, until the pain of our current circumstance is bigger than whatever fear we're facing, whatever we're scared of, or whatever the what ifs and the fear of judgment. Until the pain of the situation we're currently in is bigger, you probably are not going to do anything. And that's just human psychology. It's human behavior. So, and sometimes those trials that happen to us will happen for us. I really feel like trials can be divinely inspired because we wouldn't act otherwise. I'm sure we can all think of a situation in our lives where we were prompted to take big action because of something that happened in our lives that we could say was a tragedy or a trial or an adversity. And we know that we would not have changed our ways or done something differently unless we had had that experience. Like, I know for me, that's 100% true. Pretty much every trial I've been through, it propelled me into some kind of action that was different than what I was doing before. If we keep doing the same thing, we're going to keep getting the same results. And so many of us we want the skinny body. We want the six pack. We want all this. And me and my husband joke about this all the time. He's always like, I want that V right here and I want the six pack. And I'm like, well, you got to stop eating like, chocolate every 2 hours, like it's the society we live in, right? Especially like in America, I feel like that's even more prevalent. We're definitely a bit of an entitled society, right? I mean, we want the nice body without having to work for it. We want that soulmate without putting ourselves out there. We want the profitable business without putting ourselves out there and without actually doing what it takes and getting uncomfortable and doing the hard things. We want that and we want all these things, but then like we wonder why we don't get them because we're not doing anything differently than what we have been doing. So I think I've gone on. I've gone on enough. Prove anyone that challenges you wrong. Yep. Exactly. So, all right. So like I said, I think we've got, we don't have any other questions. So, and it's been a little while. So I just challenge you all, whatever it is. And by the way, like I said, I'll say this one more time. If you haven't shared this out, share it. I know somebody out there needs to hear this, and it's also going to put you in a drawing to win a free personal branding audit. And I will announce the winners to that next Tuesday, by the way. So, I'll give you guys, time to share this and time for this to get out there. And then I'm going to announce a winner next Tuesday. So, all right, so I think I think this is a good wrap for today. And by the way, if you are listening to this and you are ready to get not pushed out of your comfort zone, but actually have support getting out of your comfort zone. I literally just checked my calendar. I have 5 spots that have opened up this week for a free brand visibility breakthrough session. And this is a one-on-one 50-minute free session where we talk about you and we talk about your business. What's going on? What is missing? What is missing from where you are now and where you want to be and the vision that you see for yourself and why you're not getting there. Maybe it is a mindset thing. Maybe it's more of you just don't have the strategy and you feel that lack of confidence. Whatever that is, my clients have been able to vastly transform their inner dialogues and their inner world, and in turn their outer world has vastly transformed as well, to the point where they go from one of my most recent clients, she was about to file bankruptcy, and then just like that, things turned around and she started getting consistent clients, consistent discovery calls. She was putting herself out there consistently before she wasn't. So that's the kind of stuff that happens when you have someone in your corner that is some steps ahead of you and knows a thing or two more than you do, and can really give you that step by step to get you where you want to be. And so that's what I invite. So this, like I said, that's what this free 50-minute brand visibility breakthrough session is for. And it's not for everybody, but if you want to grab one of those just 5 spots, so it is very limited, just go to DesiCrowley.com/apply. So I don't know if I can actually, I don't think I can comment this, but if somebody wants to type it in the comments, I would love you. But like I said, just apply, and you can snag one of those spots. And that, I don't think those will be up for very long, because I'm probably going to email this to my list, and I'll have more views on this. So if this is calling your name, then click on over there and apply for one of the few spots that are open up this week. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you all so much for joining me. And like I said, I hope that this has helped you, and I hope this helps to spark something within you to get a move on and do whatever the heck you really want to do without worrying about what are so-and-so going to think and who's going to think. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. Are they paying your bills? Nope. Are they going to hand you some money? Nope. So it really doesn't matter. And I know that's easier said than done, but trust me, when you start acting as if it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, your dreams are actually going to come true. Imagine that. That's when you'll actually get what you truly desire in your life. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for all of you who joined me. Big hearts to you all. I don't know who's here still. You guys have been quiet. I think my husband's here. But yeah, I just love you all. And thanks so much for joining me. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.